Hello students, welcome to the part 2 of chemical coordinations. So in the last lecture we have already discussed about the auxin and the gibberellins. Okay, in today's lecture we are going to discuss about the more hormones, that is the cytokinins, ethylene and abscisic acid. Again, see, auxin and gibberellins were basically nothing but they were the growth hormone. Okay, they used to help in the growth of the plant. Okay, and more or less they are quite similar only, but today we are going to start with the new hormones, so definitely there will be some changes. Okay, cytokinins. First, cytokinins. Who discovered this hormone? This was seen in 1950s by Skoog and Miller. It was discovered by Skoog and Miller. They were the two scientists who worked on the plants and founded this hormone, that is the cytokinins. These cytokinins have been produced at the root tips. Okay, where it has been produced? It has been produced at the root tips, and they have been transported through the xylem. This cytokinins is very important hormone because it helps in germinating of the seeds, it helps in developing of the fruits and the embryo part. What is the embryo? A living, okay, a living cell. Let's look toward the functions of the cytokinins. See, the auxins and the gibberellins used to work for the cell elongation. What does that mean? See, this is a cell and the cell size get increased. So this basically nothing means the cell elongation part. But this cytokinins is something very different than cell elongation. It helps in promoting of the cell division. Okay, what does that mean? Suppose this is a one cell. So cell division means out of one cell we are going to get two cells. From two cells we are going to get more two. So it becomes four then. Okay, and like that it keeps on happening. Okay, so there is a difference between a cell elongation. The above one is the cell elongation, but the cytokinins shows the cell division. Okay, this cytokinins also helps in the expansions of the cotyledons. Okay, cotyledons, you have already heard about this word in your 9th standard. What is a cotyledon? Cotyledon means nothing, it's a structure in which the seeds stores the food. Okay, seeds stores the food. If you look at the structure of a bean, okay, a kidney bean, how it looks like this. So this part, okay, this basically this part is nothing but the cotyledon, where this bean is going to store up the food. Now this cytokinins, as I already said, okay, they also helps in initiating and in initiating of breaking of the seed dormancy. What do you mean by a dormant condition? Dormant means inactive condition. Okay, this the function of the cytokinins and gibberellins of breaking out this dormancy is kind of the similar only. You suppose this is a seed. Okay, after few days if you are going to see this seed, so there would be some shoot system and root system growing from this. So this is basically nothing but breaking of the seed dormancy and promotes the germination process. And the main and the important function of this cytokinins, it inhibits the apical dominance. What does that mean? See, in the auxin, what used to happen? See, I'm going to help you with remembering of that part. Suppose this is a root system and this is a shoot system, and these auxins are present at the tip of this shoot and the tips of the root. Okay, so what used to happen? This part, okay, the above one used to grow in size, the above part used to grow in size like this. Okay, and there was a suppression of the lateral part. means the part which used to grow from here. I mean to say the branch part. The lateral means side. Okay, what is there in the side? The branches. The branch are small in size, and where you can see the shoot is quite very big, but the branches are very short. But this used to happen in the auxin, which used to called as the apical dominance. But the function of this cytokinase is it inhibit the apical dominance. What does that mean? Inhibit. Inhibit means basically most of the time this word is going to use. We are going to use. Basically, inhibit means easy language stop. Okay, see. This was the shoot, and this was the root system. So this cytokinase is going to stop up the growth from the top part, like this region, and it is going to allow to grow the branches from the side region. Okay, exactly the reverse function. Okay, auxins helps in this tip part to grow, but cytokinase helps this branches to grow. So basically what the thing says, more the cytokinesis means more mitosis. This mitosis word we are going to use in the chromosomes chapter. As of now you just keep it on hold. So what is mitosis? Mitosis means nothing but easy language means the cell division part only. As I said, there is one cell, it got converted into 2, that's a cell division. Now it is going to get converted into 4. So cytokinase, more mitosis, more the cells, more the growth. So basically the function of the cytokinase is cell division and not cell elongation. Now again an important hormone we are going to study, ethylene. What is the basic ethylene? This is again a very important one, ethylene. See, this is the only hormone which is in the gaseous state at ordinary temperature. This is a objective type question, okay, which is the only hormone which is in the gaseous state. So ethylene is the only hormone which is in the gaseous state at ordinary temperature. So you should remember like this. Okay. See, the major function of this ethylene is ripening of fruits. What is the main function? Ripening of fruits. And this hormone were accidentally discovered. Like how? There was one scientist who was going for a trip, and he carried up the bag. In that bag he carried up the food. In that bag there were 2 fruits. Okay, suppose this is a bag. Okay, there were 2 fruits. One was the orange, okay, and the other one is banana. Okay, orange and the banana. This orange was properly ripened, but this banana was raw, and he traveled for almost 2 to 3 hours. Okay, after reaching towards his destination where he wants to go, he saw that the banana which was raw got ripened. The color of that banana changed. See, this is a raw banana on the first day, in the second day, third day, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So this is basically nothing but the changes which was taking place. Okay, but I just want to give you a hint regarding that part, how it was possible that he carried up the raw banana and immediately after 2-3 hours that banana became ripened. How it was possible? So it was possible. So what he did, he carried out that banana, okay, and he took that orange as well, and he went to the lab of his and he started to check how it was possible that the raw thing got ripened. So he saw in his lab that there was some of the gaseous, okay, there was a transportation of some of the gaseous part. And which was the gas? This ethylene was a gas. So this is how this ethylene gas got discovered, the interesting story of this part. It also initiates in germination part, okay. It also helps in the growth part of the root and the root hair formation. And this ethylene promotes senescence. What does that means? Senescence means aging. Senescence means aging, okay. As auxins, okay, as auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, all this used to function against the aging part, okay. They used to delay the senescence so that the plant does not get old. But this ethylene, especially this ethylene, okay, it helps the plant to get aged, okay. This above 3 stops the plant to get aged. But this ethylene, the more the production of ethylene, the more the age of the plant, okay. So because this ethylene works for ripening and all, right? So because of this, the plants also get aged very fast, and the plants after a certain age gets die. So this ethylene can be dangerous for the plant as well. Now abscisic acid, again this is very vital. This abscisic acid, they might ask you in a short abbreviation, what does ABA stands for? This abscisic acid is called as, it has 2-3 names. First I'm going to write, first name is growth retarding hormone. What does that means? Growth retarding hormones means basically stopping of the growth, okay. This abscisic acid is called ABA also. This is the second name. And one more, third name. And it has been called as the stress hormone. Why it has been called as the stress hormone? As of now, you just keep it on hold. Growth retarding, ABA, okay, and stress hormone. Basically, this abscisic acid is going to stop up the growth of the plants, okay. This acid, see, it induces dormancy of the buds, okay. The first, what does induce means? Induce means basically stimulate. Stimulate means to get active. See, gibberellins and cytokinins used to break the dormancy of the seed. What does that mean? Suppose this is a seed. If more gibberellins was there, the shoot will come fast, root will come fast, okay. But this abscisic acid is a growth retarding hormone, as I said. The seed is going to remain dormant, okay. Dormant means what? Inactive. This seed is going to remain dormant for a longer period of a time. So basically it does not allow the seed to germinate, okay. So basically it is a reverse function. As the gibberellins and the cytokinins used to break the dormancy, abscisic acid keeps the seed in the dormant state only, okay. It inhibits the seed germination as well. As the seed is going to remain dormant, so how the germination, like how the shoot and the root system is going to get developed. And the most important and the final function, with the help of the diagram we are going to see. So this is basically what cell turgid. When the cell is turgid, the stomata is open. What is stomata? This space, okay. But when more amount of abscisic acid is released inside the plant, so what happens? The cell become flaccid, like we can see. The stomata become closed, and it does not allow the water also to, does not allow the water to take in. It does not allow the water to take in. Why? Because the cell become flaccid, okay. So this abscisic acid basically functions for closing of the stomata. So that is why it was called as the stress hormone. Stress hormone. Because if the plant become flaccid, the plant can get easily die. Okay. So this is basically some of the summary related to auxin, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene and abscisic acid. Tropic form. First, if suppose I say that even the plant shows the movement, are you going to agree to this point? Definitely no. Like, what do you mean by movement? As I said, see, movement in the start only I said the plants can grow. What is this? It is nothing but the movement only. Okay. When the winds get blow at a very high speed, what happened with the plants? Suppose a wind which is coming from this side, so what is going to happen? The shoot system moves like this. Okay, the shoot system moves like this when this winds gets come. Okay, so even they shows the movement. But when they shows the movement, when there is stimuli. What do you mean by stimuli? As I said, stimuli, I have given the example to you. Suppose there is a hot cup of tea. That hot cup is nothing but the stimuli. So stimuli means something, okay, an object, you can say in an easy language. So as the plant is going to show the movement, but when it is going to show the movement, okay, when it is going to respond, when there is an presence of the stimuli, when there is an object. Okay, so this is called nothing but the tropic movement. So basically there are different types of tropic movements we are going to see. That is photo, geo, hydro, thigmo, chemotropism. See, in the last the word is same. Okay, tropism. Tropism means what? When the plants are going to get response. Okay, when the plants are going to get response means the tropism word. And the photo, geo. See, photo. You have already heard about this word photosynthesis. What does that photo means? Photo means the light only. So tropism basically means the movement, as I said. So there can be two types of movement. One can be toward the light, or it can be away from the light. Okay, photo means light, tropism means the movements, and their movements can be in two ways, towards and away. So let's understand with this help. This is the sunlight which is entering from this window. Okay, this is the sunlight which is entering. This is basically, I'm going to divide this part for you. So this whole part is nothing but the root system. I'm going to represent it by R. I'm not going to write the whole word. And this is, and the part which is exposed above the surface is nothing but the shoot system. So as we can see, this part, this branch related part, it is moving towards the light. This shoot system is moving towards the light. Okay, when this shoot system is moving towards the light, it is called positive phototropism. What it is called? It is called positive tropism. But which tropism? Phototropism. Okay, and we can see the root system. It is exactly on the different side of the light. It is moving away. Okay, it is not moving towards, it is moving like this. So as it is moving away, so it would be called as negative tropism. Which phototropism? It is nothing but the negative phototropism. This was quite easy. Now we are going to talk about the geotropism. Again, geo. Okay, geo related to geography and geography related to earth. So basically it is related to earth only. This is a soil surface, this is a seed, this is a shoot, this is a shoot, and this is the roots. Okay, so now guess who is moving towards the earth and who is moving towards who is moving away from the earth. This root system is growing inside the earth, so that is why it is called as the positive phototropism. Okay, positive geotropism. This shoot system is growing upwards, right? The shoot grows like this. See, a basic example would be shoot grows in upward direction and root grows in a downward direction, and it is growing towards the gravity root system, so that is why it is positive geotropism. It is growing away from the earth like upward, so it is showing some negative phases. So this is nothing but the negative geotropism. Now there would be something which is known as the hydro. Okay, you have already heard about this word, hydroelectricity. Okay, hydropower. What do you mean by word hydro? Hydro means water. When the plant shows up the response with respect to water or moisture, is called the hydrotropism. Again there would be a two part. Okay, again there would be a two part. One would be the positive and the other would be the negative. Okay, hydrotropism. Now see, so see, whenever we water the plants, whenever we water any of the plants, okay, and suppose there is a source of water which is going to come from the earth. Suppose this is the water we are putting on the plants. So where is that water is going to go? Definitely the most available water would be inside the surface of the earth. So this would be called as the positive hydrotropic, and the less amount of the water would be available on the shoot system, because whenever you water the plant, the water first enters into the soil, and inside the soil what is there? There is a root. The root shows the positive hydrotropic and the shoot shows the negative hydrotropic. This is negative shoot and this is positive, because the water always keeps on moving toward the soil surface. See, this part is going up, okay, above the water. We can see this part is going above the water. We can see this is all above the water, and this root system, suppose this is basically inside the water part only. Now there is one more tropism, that is the thigmotropism. First, let's understand the word. What does thigmo mean? The word thigmo means touch. Touch. What happens when we touch Mimosa pudica? That means touch me not plants. The leaves gets close. Have you ever imagined why the leaves get close? Because that movement is called the thigmotropism. Okay, the Mimosa pudica plant is very sensitive to the touch. So whenever we touch up that plant, it immediately fold up its leaf, okay, and close its leaves. So same like that, there are many such plants who shows up this movement, that is the thigmotropism. Like who shows? It shows by Cuscuta, okay, Cuscuta, vines, okay, you have seen this part, and sweet peas. Now I am going to help you with this part, thigmotropism. See, this is a bamboo stick which is for the support. Why this is for the support? Because the stem of this is quite weak, okay, of the vines. So when the tip, okay, when the tipmost tip of this vines touch to the bamboo, this coil, this structure, which is nothing but the tendril, okay, after few minutes, when these tendrils touch to the bamboo, what happens? That the tendrils gets twinned up, okay, twin means like spiral binding, okay, like spiral twinned up around this bamboo, okay, and this bamboo is nothing but basically it helps to give up the support. Now the last one, that is the chemotropism, okay, this is the chemotropism. You have seen of this part in your 9th standard, okay, this is the pollen grain, and this is a stem. Where does pollen grain lands? The pollen grain lands on the stigma, the topmost part, okay, cup shape. It is nothing but the stigma. It lands on the stigma. So we can see this pollen is moving inside this style, okay, this is getting elongated and it is moving inside this part, okay, that is the ovule region. Now first question, how that pollen for see, when these pollens fall on the stigma, so how that pollen was able to make up this pollen tube. See what happens when stigma, which this part is the stigma, okay, the above one, this is the above one. When the stigma gets mature, it releases some sugary substance, okay, sugary substances. So when the stigma releases some of the sugary substances, the pollen at that period of a time makes up this pollen tube, okay, makes up this pollen tube, and this movement is eventually entered into a new part, that is the ovule, okay. Why it moves toward the ovule? Because it because this part needs of the food, okay, and this part, that the pollen needs of the food, and because of this it develops up this pollen tube. So this is basically the chemotropism part. So the stigma secretes the sugary substance, and the pollens in search of the food develop up this pollen tube, okay. So basically this phenomena is called chemotropism. Why it is known as the chemotropism? Because this response is related to the chemicals, because stigma releases that sugary substance. That sugary substance is nothing but the chemicals. So this was the part 2 of chemical coordination in plants. Thank you, students.